Hello, my fellow fanfiction readers. It's I, Dark Symphony 777, with another fanfiction review. As always, a link to the story will be in the description below. Please like the channel, subscribe. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications. Leave a like, leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the story, and as well as any future stories you want me to do. And as always, this is my opinion, and a link to the story will be in the description below. I completely forgot about that. So the story I'm doing a reading of is Sadie's Tale. It's a Chronicles of Narnia and Mouse Guard crossover. I'd never heard Mouse Guard before this. I heard of Chronicles of Narnia. I know of it. I saw the first movie. I read the first book, and I saw like the animated movies from the late 90s. I guess either late 90s or early 2000s, one or the other. And so I'm kind of familiar with Chronicles of Narnia. I know of it. I know enough with Aslan, the White Queen. I don't know everything about it. So I don't know who this Reepicheep is. I don't know. So let's get started. Okay, winter 1152. The mice of the guard had battened down in Lockhaven for the depth of winter. Their rest was well earned after their harrowing journey home. They still mourn Selenaway. I'm butchering this name, honestly. Selenaway passing and worry for Liam's absence, but Saxon, Kenzie, and Sadie, along with the other guard mice, knew to take their comfort when they could. Okay? And so, bundled under their cloaks, they told stories against dark and cold outside. After some prodding, Sadie said, "This is a true tale. In the time before Midnight's treachery, I was posted at Frostic. 7 seasons ago, I met a traveler." Alright? Spring, 1151. Okay, so... On the barren shore of Frost, any movement was sure to catch a guard mouse's eye. So when Sadie spotted a boat moving toward shore with the morning sun, she immediately gathered her weapons, and went to await its arrival. The vessel was of no design she had seen before, elaborately carved. As it drew near, Sadie could see the mouse who crewed the boat was a tall fur. He wore no gauze cloak, but perhaps crimson feather that sprang from a band on his head stood for a similar symbol in his land. His fur was nearly as dark at midnight, and he wore an elegant rapier at his side. As the boat came to dock, the strange mouse did an odd thing. He leaned over the boat and took a buffalo of water to bring it to his mouth, and immediately spit it out. "Not sweet," Sadie heard him said, with evident disappointment. Sadie approached, paws open, but wary. "I am Sadie of the guard, assigned to the outpost of Frostic. Will you share your name, stranger?" He bowed grandly, his feather bobbing with the motion. "Reepicheep of Narnia." "Frostic, you say? I don't know this place." "Not many do," Sadie said ruefully. "Then remember her manners. If you come in peace, be welcome to the territories." "I come in the spirit of exploration, and also peace." Reepicheep jumped out of his boat, landing gracefully on the pier. "I seem," he commented wildly as he glanced at himself, "to have lost some height in my journey." That made no sense as he could discern. "You must have come a long way. May I offer you refreshing cheap?" she asked, stumbling a little on the unfamiliar name. "Accepted, and gladly. But I see now, judging by your weapons," he said, peering at her closely, "that you are not merely a watcher in this place, but a warrior. I am honored, and would very much like to share tales of the battles we have fought." Sadie thought quickly before she answered, "We of the guard keep the peace between the settlements and our territory. But if you like, I can tell you of the fight against the Weasel Warlord 3 years past." I don't know what a Weasel Warlord is. What Weasel Warlord would look like? Probably look like Dexter from Jack and Dexter, maybe. I don't know. "Sounds exciting," Reepicheep said as he tied up his boat. Terrifying, more like, Sadie thought, but didn't say. She led him towards the stone shelter on the pier. There were plain biscuits there, and water. Simple fare, but nourishing for any mouse. She reminded herself to refill the provisions from the underground chamber once he had gone. Few visited here, but it was her duty to remain prepared. "It is lonely here," Reepicheep said, looking out past the pier and its bell to the barren shore. "You alone. Keep watch." Yes, she said, startled by the mirroring of her thoughts. The war reminded us to keep eyes on all our borders, even the most remote. That's smart. I have to admit, that's pretty smart. Sensible. Thank you. Reepicheep took the cup she had offered with a graceful nod. This is honorable duty, Lady Sadie. Just Sadie, she muttered, turning away to uncover the biscuit tin. True, her post was honorable duty, and necessary, but oh, so very lonely. In her heart of hearts, she hoped Gwendolyn would find reason to recall her soon, or send a replacement. Not that Sadie wished a guard mouse the solitude of this place. What brings you here? Why, adventure! And wanting to see what lay beyond the long water, he sighed. I must travel on, it seems. Perhaps it was rude to ask, but she couldn't resist. What do you seek? He took a deep breath. When I was in my cradle, he began, a wood woman, a dryad, spoke this verse over me. Where sky and water meet, where the waves grow sweet, doubt not, Reepicheep, to find all you seek. There is the other east. I do not know what it means, but the spell of it has been on me all my life. She had the sense. He had spoken these words many times before. East of here lies the wild country, she told him. Perhaps there is a sea beyond, but I do not know. No matter. I will find it, in time. Reepicheep chewed on his biscuit. Sadie ate a little too, mostly to be polite. Her visitor sprang up again, as if impatient with mere sustenance. Would you care to duel? I have daggers to match yours. Sadie glanced away, embarrassed. I fear I am more adept with throwing knives and slingstones than held daggers. Here on this lonely shore, she depended on her sling to dissuade the gulls in their most harassing moods, or the crowds when they thought to shelter on her pier. That has to be a hilarious image. Just a little tiny mouse, like throwing pebbles at a gigantic enemy crowd. Like, go away! What are you doing? I'm sleeping here. Say, go away! You're invading this pier. I'm a crowd. I'm not doing anything. Go away! No! Go away! No! I'm a crab. I want to sleep here. Why do you want to sleep here? Because I'm tired. I'm a crab. I just have to sleep. I want to sleep. Well, I'm a mouse, and mouse are better than crabs. Says who? Says me. Why? I can throw stuff. I can throw stuff too. I can't throw stuff. Are you trying to stick out your tongue? Yes, but I can't. Well, what can you do? I can dance. I can start a rave. Please don't. Just don't. Now go away before I start throw more rocks at you. Fine, I'll be back with more friends. We'll have a rave. I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm happy it went where it went. The excitement in Reepicheep's voice drew her eyes back to him. Oh, then you have something to teach me. Would you indulge my whim and give me a lesson? The altar request was, she reflected, gracefully made. I have a pile of stones on the sand and a piece of driftwood for a target. Reepicheep proved a quick study, although he seemed more interested in hearing her tales of the Weasel War. Sadie told him, rather uncomfortably, about the evacuation of Ferndale when the weasels of Dark Heather attacked. Her visitor seemed disappointed that most of her tale involved running and hiding, rather than fighting the weasel outright. Such villains! I would have smoked them for their insolence, Reepicheep proclaimed. Then he added with a glance in her direction, but you protected the helpless, Riffy. This deed is also worthy of admiration. Sadie mostly wanted never to think of it again. Will you be visiting the rest of the territories? Excuse me. I can direct you to a town where you can refresh your supplies. Port Sumac wasn't far, and Reepicheep wouldn't have any difficulty with the rough sorts there. I must continue my journey, Reepicheep declared. In fact, I must travel on while the sun still shines. So soon, Sadie murmured, but in truth she was relieved. The strange traveler talked like no one else she had ever known, and he wasn't very mouse-like at all. Even under relative safety of the pier, Sadie kept a wary eye for approaching predators, and a nose to the wind for a hint of any change in the weather. Out on the sand, she kept doubtfully alert, ready to dive toward shelter at a moment's notice. Reepicheep moved without a care in the world, as if no creature or circumstance might threaten him. It wasn't simply confidence in his sword. He seemed to have no thought for his safety at all. Sadie couldn't begin to understand how or why he made her nervous, as if his being here was a signal for danger. But he was still her guest, however temporary. "Wait here," she said on impulse. She ran over to the underground chamber hidden under the sand just past the pier. It was a small room just large enough for a mouse to slip warm against the elements and keep dry a few critical supplies. She broke off a large piece of gaproon, I don't know what that is, noting that her precious stockpile of fruit and nut trailbread was running low. Let me just go down here. But hopefully she wouldn't be stationed here for much longer, and any mouse sent to relieve her would have a proper supply. "For your travels," she told Repeat, passing over the precious bread wrapped in a bit of cloth. He bowed to her low, as no mouse did to any other. "Honor and glory to you, God, Sadie," he said, and then he was gone, his boat swiftly passing from her view. Okay, flashback's over. "That's all? He just left?" Saxon looked skeptical. "That's all," Sadie confirmed. "Not much of a story," Saxon muttered. Sadie knew he was only saying that to irritate Kinsey. Saxon resented the time she was spending with his friend. Not that he had room to talk if the rumors about him and Gwendolyn held any truth. But where was this place he came from? And where did he go? Kinsey mused. That was why she was fond of Kinsey. He asked the important question. Sadie leaned against him, ignoring Saxon's lower. He seemed very intent on his journey. "I don't think he will come this way again." "The world is bigger than any mouse can know," Kinsey said solemnly, but Sadie already knew that. It was enough for her to be here now, amongst friends, safe and warm. It looks like these are just like body. Oh yeah, this is like an RPG thing. So that's my reading of Sadie's Tale. That's actually not bad. Let me just... Yeah, that is. Sorry. It's not bad. I think it was a short, sweet story. I don't know much about Mouse, so I don't know anything, the details about the weasels or Dark Heather or something like that. But it's a short, simple story. Again, not every single fanfiction needs to be short. I mean, not every fanfiction needs to be these super long, imposing novellas of, you know, like adventure or stories. Like, yeah, they can work in moderation if you read them, but not every story needs to be that. Sometimes you want to take a break and read like short story. This is a short story that's done relatively well. Excuse me. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not bad. There were no grammar errors that I saw. There was maybe like one run-off sentence, maybe. I don't know. I mean, run-on sentence. My bad. That would be it. And I'm not a grammar Nazi, so it'd just be nitpicking one tiny little error. But overall, I think it was done relatively. It's just two mice, you know, meeting. One mice meets the other, and they talk a little bit, and then one leaves, and that's it. Sometimes that's all you need for a story. I have no complaints, no regrets over what the story's like. Nothing really. So that's my reading of Sadie's Tale. This has been Dark Symphony 777, and cut.